All right, folks. Many believe that the Biden administration, as a result, the FDA recommendation was going to ban menthol cigarettes. Folks have been waiting all year for that to happen. Now the administration has announced that they are going to delay this until March of 2024. What that now means is that many people believe that they likely are not going to touch this issue at all in an election year. And in fact, that was one of the issues that was actually raised by civil rights groups as to why Biden should not act on this. This is a story here. This is from ABC News right here. Go to my iPad. Civil rights groups fought the ban, saying it would target black smokers. Now, here's the deal. The ban would have actually targeted the manufacturing of menthol cigarettes. But what Big Tobacco did, there was an aggressive push by civil rights groups, again, sponsored by Big Tobacco, who said there was going to unfairly target black people. You had the black farmers and John Boyd out there saying this is an awful idea. This article here lays out that you had folks with Noble, the ACLU, even Reverend Al Sharpton's National Action Network, saying that this could harm black voters. And here's what the story says right here. It says, in private phone calls, civil rights groups, including the ACLU, the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives, or NOBLE, and Reverend Al Sharpton's National Action Network, warned the White House against the plan, with some officials suggesting that a regulatory crackdown could harm Joe Biden's reelection chances with black voters. Okay, so that was the argument that was being made. Now, understand, folks, the same article says this right here, that the delay is a major defeat for health advocates who have been pushing for years to limit access to menthol cigarettes, which are aggressively marketed in black communities. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, menthol can enhance the addictive effects of cigarettes and make it harder to quit. 45,000 black people die annually as a result of cigarette smoking. 45,000. Let me just remind people, there are more black people who die annually than smoking that represented the margin of Biden's victory in Georgia and Arizona. Why am I framing it like that? Because, frankly, I'm not buying any of this bullshit from any of these civil rights groups. And let me be perfectly clear. I work with the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids. I hate cigarettes. I'm allergic to smoke. It gets in my system, it literally shut my throat down, and I've been off the air for a week. My mom has asthma. I can't stand it. So I don't care. I got no problem. But what I'm looking at, I also cannot, as a black man, have a mural in my damn office saying Black Lives Matter, and we're literally located on Black Lives Matter Plaza in D.C., but how hypocritical would I be going down to the White House 2 blocks away and saying, no, don't do this because this is going to harm black people. How about the damn Big Tobacco harming black people? Here's what the article says in here. Give me 1 second. Right here. Go to it. Noble, black law enforcement lists tobacco giant Altria among its sponsors. Another group, the National Association of Blacks in Criminal Justice, which ran ads against the proposed ban, is sponsored by Reynolds American. Also, Big Tobacco increased their advertising to NMPA, the black newspapers, so it was no shock that Ben Chavis, who heads the NMPA, came out against this. And what they also did was they held a news conference at the National Press Club with Gwen Carr, saying what happened to my son Eric Garner, this could happen to other black men if this happens. Y'all, They created this whole hysteria by saying there's going to be an underground market and black people are going to be killing it. We literally had a dude from Noble on the show last week saying, well, you might see this increase in crime because, if you're going to have these cigarettes on the black market. And I love this one. Well, if you're going to ban menthol, you should ban all the rest of them. Do y'all know how many? Hold up. Now, these are the same folk who say, do for black folks, but damn everybody else. But now all of a sudden, well, I love this one. They complain about a rising tide lifts all boats. But now, no. Don't just target menthol. No, target everybody, knowing full well how addictive menthol cigarettes are. Here's the reality, Greg. Big Tobacco has bought off Black America for years. That was their strategy. They bought tables, they sponsored events, they sponsored concerts, they sponsored tournaments. They made smoking cool. K-O-O-L.
Well put, brother. I think about all those ads we saw in all of the black publications that made it cool indeed. K-O-O-L. I mean, it's not the jazz festival in New England. It's the Newport Jazz Festival. And you've talked about this before. In fact, you've done dedicated segments on the show about this. It's certainly disheartening, but it's unsurprising. The idea that harming ourselves, being induced to harm ourselves, isn't enough to make a stand. That's the society we live in, brother. I mean, right now, probably the biggest story in the world right now is the COPES meeting, and they're overseas in an oil-producing company, exactly because the Saudis and UAE and all of them wanted to get these people trying to get climate change under control on their turf so they could kill anything, and they're literally dumping billions as we speak right now into this meeting to persuade the people of the world that you'll be dead, but at least we'll have the oil making it into gasoline for, I guess, the phantoms, because the world is going to burn up. But the same principle is at work here. Money. What's the cost of our life, brother? What's the cost? And as you read those names, as you read those organizations, I mean, Noble is sitting there with a lobbyist who is working with the tobacco industry. Does that mean we can't trust these folk who claim to represent or want to represent us in certain areas or in certain forums? Because they definitely don't represent us on that. I mean, does that just mean that we just need to get enough money to say, okay, well, since you are a free agent, what's your price to take this political stand? Because you've clearly mortgaged your morals.
Here was an email blast that went out, Lauren, from John Boyd. Look, we've been standing with the National Black Farmers to get their money from the federal government. But on this one, John Boyd is wrong. It says in here how this is going to hurt black farmers in rural communities. How? Show me the data. and then it says, beyond the economic impact, opponents of the ban on menthol tobacco products note that the Food and Drug Administration ban being considered would criminalize the sale, distribution, and possession of menthol cigarettes under federal, state, and local laws. This criminalization could result, here's that key word, Lauren, mandatory minimum sentences, revocation of parole, fines, the loss of one's right to vote, or even deportation, among the other criminal legal consequences. That literally, Lauren, is complete bullshit. It is. What this would do is end, again, here's what the manufacturing of the products, manufacturing, distribution, all the rest, that's all lies.
Yeah, what you're seeing is the convergence of money and politics. And when you have a community like ours that doesn't have the history of having a lot of money around and the ability to sort of have capital in these organizations that make them independent from moneyed interest. These are the strange moments that you get. Nobody talking about the 45,000 Black people that die per year, making a decision that is the opposite of what healthcare experts would say. Obviously, any argument for cigarettes is bizarre right there on its face.
I gotta read this one. I gotta read this one. And I'm sorry. Again, these are people who I talk to on other issues I respect. But on this, bullshit. This is what this Black farmers email says. Black farmers should not have to deal with the economic consequences of a biased government that always take into account a predominantly white-led viewpoint on what should be done in the Black community. Our community, what we should smoke, what we should eat, and what we should grow, it is always under the guise that it is in the best interest of the Black community and for our health and well-being, even though there's been little done to address the disparities and inequities within our healthcare system. There are Black people who are fighting for this. There are Black people. Yeah. So this notion that, oh, here come the white folks saying this stuff ain't good for y'all, when, let's be clear, and here's the other deal. And I read this, and I'm sorry. I'm telling you right now, John, if you want to call me, fine. But I'm reading this book, and I'm going to keep saying this bullshit. I'm reading this here, and not one piece of data says in here how many Black farmers are growing tobacco.
Oh,
yeah.
Not one. Like, I'm reading this whole deal. This is what I see. Few workers have been hit harder in recent years than Black farmers, whose numbers continue to dwindle. In 1910, about 14% of the U.S. farmers were Black, blah, 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 blah. And then according to latest data, only 1 in 100 farmers is Black, owning a total less than 5 million acres. Not anywhere in here does it say how many of these Black farmers actually are growing tobacco.
Yeah, it's worse than that, though. Why the hell would we be arguing on the side of cigarettes under any circumstance? There's a line in there that said something about, why are white people telling us what to smoke? Why are we smoking in the first place? We know how. Everybody knows that smoking kills people and causes cancer. That's been known for decades. So the idea that anybody would be making that argument is patently ridiculous. The 45,000 dead people apparently per year is not persuading anybody. But this is an example of, if you ply people with enough money, anything is possible.
Yeah, and there were numerous meetings. There were numerous meetings at the White House, Reese, meeting directly with the administration, and again sitting here. Now, let me also just show you, and again, y'all, let me be perfectly clear. Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids, they've been a sponsor of this show. You damn right. And let me be real clear. Let me be real clear to everybody watching. I don't take money from everybody.
Come on now.
When I launched this show,
come on,
in my first 2 years,
yes, sir,
I did not have any advertising except one. That was AFSCME. Mm-hmm. And my ad people came to me, and Juul, them vaping people, whatever whatever the hell, whatever they do, they came to me and they wanted to advertise. Did I need the money?
Wow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Did I take the money? Hell no. Because that, to me, is absolutely blood money.
Yes, sir.
And for all y'all, and I just want y'all to understand, I name y'all the civil rights groups that put pressure on the White House. And hell, there was one Black political consultant who they paid, who tried to get me to put the people on the show. He got mad as hell when I called his name out, because I talked to somebody else and like, man, I mentioned your name to him. He started cussing. Well, if your ass can't defend your clients, don't get mad at me, I call your name out.
Come on.
You're lucky I'll call your name out right now.
Yikes.
And trust me, if I see your ass, I advise you not to get attitude, because trust me, it's going to get real loud wherever we are. But I want everybody to know. I want everybody to know. These are the black organizations that supported the ban on menthol cigarettes. The 100 Black Men of America, African American Tobacco Control Leadership Council, African American Wellness Project, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, the Association of Black Cardiologists, the Association of Black Women Physicians, the Black Men's Health Initiative, the Black Women's Health Imperative, the Black Women's Roundtable, the Church of God in Christ Social Justice Ministry, Mocha Moms, Inc., the NAACP, the National Black Empowerment Council, the National Black Nurses Association, the National Caucus and Center on Black Aging, Inc., the National Council of Negro Women, the National Medical Association, that's the group of black doctors, Save a Girl, Save a World, the Arc of Justice, the Center for Black Health and Equity, the National Coalition on Black Civic Participation, the National Council of the Churches of Christ in the USA. These are the groups. These are the groups, y'all, that supported that. And so this right here, Reese, is where, and I said it to the people who are down for this ban. I said, listen, y'all soft shoeing this thing. I think folks thought, you know what, this thing going well. No. I believe in going hard till you get what you get. It's like in sports. I'm going to play hard till that clock says 0, 0, 0.
Yes, sir.
And what happened here? Big Tobacco played a lot of hardball and threw a whole money out, and now they push it to March, and I don't think for a second that the Biden administration is going to pull this trigger in March. They should, and frankly, the president and the vice president should be able to come out and say, we stand for black lives, and they absolutely matter. And they should absolutely ban menthol cigarettes and sit here and say to any civil rights group that opposed it, how dare you be manipulated by Big Tobacco by saying, oh, black people gonna get arrested and gonna get accosted by the cops because of menthol cigarettes. That's all nonsense.
Yeah, this is pretty fucking embarrassing for Black people to be in it in terms of a civil rights issue. For cigarettes is a civil rights issue. That is so deeply embarrassing that there are pretty esteemed organizations that are signing up to this, the gaslighting and propaganda. Don't we get enough of that already? Come on. We don't need to add to the gaslighting in this country around our political issues. It's unserious. It's apparently profitable. I wonder how much the check is, though. Maybe I would have been on that list. Not just joking. I would not set out our people for no cigarette money. But my whole point is, I hope the check cleared and it was pretty good for you to just say that this is a reasonable objection to make when it's not. We saw on the show a person who ended up in jail when all he was doing was changing a tire. We've seen people who end up being beaten and harassed by police because they flagged the police down during a traffic stop. But police don't need any additional pretext to do what they were going to do all along. Okay, maybe they might say menthol cigarettes, but it would have been something else. Okay, they would have found another reason to fuck with Black people because that's what they do. So the whole notion that you're protecting Black people by keeping deadly cigarettes more accessible to our community is the most backward ass, ridiculous gaslighting logic I've ever heard. And I don't want no parts of it. Don't sign me up to be one of the Blacks that is rooting for menthol cigarettes. Stop it. Stop it. You're embarrassing yourself. And then to your point, Roland, don't get mad when you get called out by name behind it. You know, a lot of people get sensitive when you call them out on their shit. Stand in it, stand 10 toes down, but be real about it. Don't say it's a civil rights issue because it's absolutely not. We're talking about life or death, not fake civil rights in play here.
Absolutely. And so I just want to show y'all these here. And again, I got no problem saying it. I have absolutely partnered with the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids. I support this initiative 100% because I hate damn cigarettes. So you damn right, I stand with him. Go to my iPad. From the FDA, eliminating menthol cigarettes could save up to 654,000 lives, including 255,000 black lives over the next 40 years. When black people die early because of cigarettes, that's less money in the black community. That impacts black children. That impacts black mothers, black fathers, nieces and nephews. And so, y'all, this is an economic issue for black people as well. Go back to my iPad. Why eliminate menthol cigarettes? They are more addictive. They're easier for kids to start. And we have heard they are harder for smokers to quit. Fact of the matter is, Michael Coleman, former mayor, Columbus, Ohio, talked about that. And just so y'all know, if y'all think I'm just sitting here, oh man, you're making up this stuff about big tobacco and what they've done, go to my iPad. For decades, big tobacco targeted the black community with menthol cigarettes. And if you black and you grew up in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and you saw black newspapers and black magazines, you saw all these ads. Look, oh, look how cool. Y'all see this here? Misty, light and sassy. Look at this here. Yeah, I want y'all to understand this here. These assholes, these big tobacco assholes, use the natural hair of black people to do an ad to say it's only natural to smoke Salems. Oh, look at this here.
Wait a minute, Roland. Wait, before go back over there, it's only natural. What words are bigger and where are they placed?
Boom.
I mean, the whole thing, man. It's like, come on, really?
And then I'm going to go there. If y'all look at that, going to put extra long damn near his crotch.
Right. Come on.
Y'all better understand the psychology of this stuff. Look at this here. Cool ain't cold. Newport is. Look at this here. Wouldn't have it any other way. It's got to be cool. Look at this here. Look how I try to make like smoking cool and sexy. Look at this here. Dizzy Gillespie, the Cool Jazz Festival in New York. They sponsor cool concerts all over the place. Look at this here. Cool Filter Kings using DJs and rappers. Look at this here. Ooh, Kent Menthol, the Together Smoke, showing a black couple how cool for them to smoke together. Oh, look at the cool brother, Benson and Hedges 100s. Look at this here. Oh, if y'all think, y'all, look at this ad. Players go places. Look at this here. Newport pleasure until your ass get lung cancer.
Yes, sir.
Look at this here. Brother on the phone getting this Mac on with a sister. The ad says rap in Kent. Look at this here. Salem, fresh on the scene. Oh, look at this here. Black man playing pool. Smoke easy. Look at this here. Brother with a trumpet. Cool. Sister over here in the water. Say, y'all, this is what civil rights groups are defending
What have mercy.
by being against the ban of menthol cigarettes. And so again, y'all, what did I tell y'all? My philosophy is simple. If you do good, I'm going to talk about you. And if you do bad, I'm going to talk about you. At the end of the day, I'm going to talk about you. Shame on every civil rights group, every political analyst, every political strategist, anybody who is black who stands with big tobacco. Damn that. Any day of the week.